We're going to continue on with polyline editing and or modification. And so this next command is going to be the stretch command. So there's no, unfortunately, shortcut for stretch. So you just type in stretch or ST, and then you can find it here in the list and just type out stretch. So the difference here, instead of for stretching, selecting the object, if I just select the whole object and then select the base point, then it's almost like the move command. The key for the stretch command is so type out stretch, spacebar. Now I only select the portion of the object that I want to stretch. So in this instance, I'm going to left click and then drag so I get the green box. And I only want to stretch the arrowhead, for example. So I'm going to include the arrowhead and then left click again. And then I'm going to hit spacebar. Now I'm going to do my displacement factor. So I can either pull it if I want to pull it up, down, or if I just want to pull it straight. And then I can also, beyond freehanding it, I could also say I want to move it 4 feet in this direction. And then I stretched it. I can also, if I repeat the command, I can left click, drag, left click, and then spacebar. And then I could drag up for some really hideous shape that didn't stretch very well. Now I'm undoing U spacebar. So that is the stretch command. Let's say going back, I could draw a line. Let's say I stretched it too far. And I drew that line, TR for trim. Select the object, highlight, finish. Now I've trimmed it back down. Okay, so our next command is going to be the offset command. This is very useful, like oftentimes, like if you're doing a mow curb or a sidewalk or many different things, walls in a building. I use it daily, especially in drafting. Hundreds of times in a day can be done. And it allows us to actually reuse polylines for different tasks. But so I have this polyline and then I want to offset it. So O for offset. And then you can either freehand it, where let's say I click my first point and then I drag it however far I want to offset it. And I do my second point with my left click. Now I select the object, left click, and then I pull in the direction that I want it to go. So I'm pulling out, so then now that's my offset. So let's say I wanted to do something very specific, so in distance, so O for offset. Now I'm going to type in, I only want to offset it an inch. So I'm offsetting it 1 inch. Now I'm going to select it by left clicking on it. Now I can offset it inside, or I can, and I'm still in the command, so I could keep offsetting it if I wanted to. Click, click in, and then I can click, click out. So you can see I can just keep going pretty much forever, as long as my heart's content. And when I'm done, I just hit spacebar, I'm done. So that's a lot of offsets. I did want to show you, so this is good of, let's say, in the landscape, I'm drawing this curvilinear path. Let's say that was my path. I had a sidewalk down here. Let's say I had my house up here. So I wanted this to be exactly a 3-foot walk, 3-foot wide walk. Let's say, so how I do this is O for offset. And then I think at this scale, let me see what 3 feet is. This might be. Oh, 3 foot works. So if I type O and then 3 feet typed in, spacebar. Now I'm going to select my object and the direction that I want it to go. So I want it on the right side of the line. So now, and then click, and now my path is 3 feet. Now you can see it extends a little over here and just how it is. Then when it's offset, then it's a little short here. So this is where I would then come in and use the trim command, TR for trim, select the line, spacebar, and then the second line that I want trimmed, then I click it and it goes away. Now on this end, instead of trimming, I want to extend it like we went over last week. So EX, spacebar. Now the line that I want to extend it to, I just clicked it and then selected it with my left click or left mouse button. I'm going to spacebar. Now that allows me to click my second line, which is going to be extended. And then you can see it does the preview of where it's going, and I left click on it and then spacebar and it's done. So now I've just created this curvilinear walk that's a perfect 3 foot. So now I'm going to go back and show you something. There. So I had originally drawn this as my arrow. Actually, let me just start from scratch. I'll draw it. So now PL for polyline. I'm drawing my arrow. Let's say something happened, or I left the room, or got distracted, had to go deal with an email, and I got out of that command. But I haven't gone to my next command. So what I can do is, as if you guys remember, instead of hitting PL to redraw it, since it was the last command, I can hit spacebar. Now I'm back in the polyline command because that is what my previous command was. But then another nice thing with polyline is if I hit spacebar again, I pick up exactly where I left off. And so now I could continue drawing. And now this would be, it's 2 different items. So you can see that here was the first and here's the second one. But it picks up exactly where it left off. Now, if I wanted to make this into one polyline, I can easily just hit J for join, select the first one and the second one, polylines, spacebar. Now when I click it, now you can see it is turned into one polyline. And because I ended where I did, it's a closed polyline. Pretty cool, huh? So I drew half my arrow. Now I'm going to do MI for mirror. Click on it. And I'm going to just mirror it down the middle. And here's my arrow, but it's two different. When you see it's two different polylines. So another command that I can do is powerful is PE for PolyEdit. And in this case, I'm editing multiple lines, so I'm going to type M for multiple. Now I select both. And you can see it gives you a ton of different things that you can do. And right now I don't have enough time to go into every single thing. You guys can look this up on YouTube or Google or such, but you can join it. So if I wanted to join it, I can do J for join. And now it's been joined. Click it and it has joined. Let's see. Now, because it's one line, I actually don't have to hit M for multiple. I can just select it. And let's say I wanted to close it. I could do C for close. And you can see it just closed it right there. So now it has been closed, and you can see it's closed over there. You can also, if you ever wanted, when you select it here, if you go in your properties pane, you can just click close, and it will close it for you too.